You keep interrupting because you think you can extrapolate out where I'm going with this. Unfortunately, you're not really smart enough to do so. When this law was put in place and what it does, I am looking through the history of it. Nothing of it is actually pushed by the NRA. It was pushed by Hughes, a Democrat, and it was pushed by another fucking junior Democrat whose name isn't even mentioned. But he was one of the most vocal people on the floor until Hughes took up his time on the floor. And nothing from the NRA. When you look into Hughes, no connection to the NRA. In fact, he scores a fucking F on their report card, meaning that the NRA fucking hates him. So no, they were not supporting him.
Wait. Is that on the 86 report card?
That's his report card lifetime. And I'll look at his 86 report card specifically.
Okay, hold on.
I'm looking up his 86. I'm looking up his 86 report card specifically. Since you said that, I didn't do that. I just looked up his overall one.
I know. I understand that. The reason why I make that point is because even though his lifetime of work spans a small period of time, there's been plenty of time since that to where the NRA could go behind and change it to where it's like, we don't support that shit. And so they're trying to cover their ass because NRA is good at that shit.
No, I'm looking at fucking, newspapers of the time. The NRA was talking out against Hughes. I mean, you're telling me they gave him money, supported him in this push, but were fighting him in the press? That doesn't make sense. Sorry, this does not meet the smell test. Sorry, bud. So no, the NRA didn't push that change. The NRA didn't stop it. Because the NRA doesn't actually have the ability to stop it.
I didn't say they pushed on it because
the only time they have pushed for regulation was when black activists carried guns into Washington, D.C. That is the only time the NRA pushed for gun regulation. Otherwise, they have fought gun regulation, which was the point that we were arguing. If you weren't saying that this had anything to do with them pushing regulation, then why did you bring it up?
I know you asked a question, but I got nothing. So,
you're fine. No, that's the thing. They this has nothing to do with the NRA's fighting of regulations. They have fought regulations tooth and nail. Nor does this push against my assertion that they are the whole reason that the rhetoric of registration means they will come and take your guns comes out of the NRA. That is literally their brainchild. They created that rhetoric in this country before even I was born, by the way. This is back in '65 that they started that shit.
Well, no, it probably came out of 45.
No, 65 was when they started that. It was after their push for the firearm regulation and when they were pushing against the Black Panthers being able to openly carry.
So would that be right in line with the Gun Control Act of '68?
Probably. I'd have to look specifically into that chain of events, but probably I'll give you that. Yeah. Like I can't say it for certain, but probably. That's all I'm getting at. Is like, dude, that's the only time the NRA fucking pushed for regulation was when a bunch of black people had guns in DC and they didn't like that shit. Fuck the NRA. I'm pro regulation because there are regulations that work. Registration is not something that is equaled guns being taken away in Switzerland.
I'm not a fan of
Switzerland has a higher per capita gun ownership than we do. They don't have more guns than we do.
I'm not a fan of just because a group that I don't agree with it said something that may have aligned with what I'm saying right now. That you're saying that I'm carrying water for them. When no, I'm.
It is. I mean, you're not doing it intentionally.
The same fucking talking points, but I'm saying that I don't agree with that shit on my fucking own. I don't give a shit if they said that shit 20 years before I was born. that shit don't mean jack shit. I've got my own fucking opinions. Just because it may agree with.
Do you not believe that those opinions would be shaped by the people around you who were
I don't
listening
have
to
any
the
control
NRA
over
opinion?
whether or not those opinions
I'm asking.
were made prior to my birth.
I'm asking.
I'm just saying that I have opinions.
I know.
And you're trying to dismiss them by saying that I just took them from them whole cloth when I don't give a shit what the fuck they say because they're full of fucking bullshit.
No, I am not.
No, don't wipe your head now that you.
I am dismissing the fear, Bandit. Why? Because the fear is the creation of the NRA. Not you disagree with the registration.
No,
you disagree with registration, but the fear. Registration equals them coming and taking your guns. That is a inaccurate fear that was created by the NRA. And
it may have been created by the NRA, but it's still accurate. It is still accurate. Every fucking country that has done regulation or that has done registration,
let me interject.
Eventually come for them.
Let me interject.
I just brought up Switzerland. You're wrong.
Jesus Christ. There's no way you could ever pass any type of European type of any sort of limitation on the Second Amendment here in the United States. Way too many guns.
Limitation. This isn't limitation. It would just be registration. Registration
and
background checks at each sale. That's it. No, it's not a limitation. That is literally just tracking. That is the ability to track firearms through our country and make sure that
for me, that's fine.
Firearm is not committed in a crime. My personal thing is they should be registered at the manufacturer level and then registered through every point of sale thereafter.
Okay, yeah, well, good luck managing that, dude.
No, that's actually not hard.
Bureaucracies you would have to establish to track that amount of, from point of sale on a state level, on a municipal
every background
level,
check. Every background check has to be done at the federal level anyways.
Okay, yeah, but you're talking also level from that level to municipal state, and you know how much red tape therein is going to be needed for that, right?
Wait a minute. How would this add? How are you adding red tape when you register at every background check and point of sale? It is
again that's
because you don't do that now, so that's adding that's red tape that's being added. That's red tape that we didn't have before.
You have to let me finish the
want to
point
add,
to understand
so that's adding red tape.
You were saying it is adding bureaucracy. Red tape is actually adding some kind of a hurdle that is going to slow down the process. You were already going through a background check that the registration process would be tied to. It would not take any more time.
Universal background check,
which is only circumvented right now by private sales of John Q. Public going to Joe Q. Public and selling it in his fucking garage instead of fucking selling it properly because he did an illegal gun sale.
You assume that that's selling it properly when
it is an illegal gun sale if you're not doing a background check.
Yes. That product was moved from one person to the other and money was transferred. There's no theft. That's proper sale. I agree.
Oh, Lord. No, I'm sorry, because if your Joe Q. Public happens to be a felon or not have the right to
that's already illegal. It's already illegal.
Yeah, but without the background check, you can't fucking verify that.
Okay, so
therefore you were recklessly selling that firearm.
Hold on.
Yes,
it is still illegal because if you sell it to a felon and you had reason to, if there's any reason for you to
the excuse they give because they didn't do the background check, which is why the background check, which by the way is free, and they don't fucking do it, is retarded. It is them fucking playing games because they want to play with this rhetoric. By the way, I can pull out my guns. I am not anti-gun. I'm just
it's not fucking free.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, break it down to simplistic rhetoric like that. That's really going to help.
You go to a gun store, says, hey, I want to sell my gun to this guy. They're going to do a transfer fee. It's not free.
No. The background check isn't free. Is free. The transfer is capitalism of them making you fucking pay them for the right to use their license because you don't have a license. That's just capitalism. That has nothing to do with the government. The government doesn't impose that transaction fee on you. The gun store does.
No, they do. They do when they make you go through an FFL.
No,
hold on. No, wait. They make you go through an FFL to do the transfer. The FFL, they've got to do the fee, or they've got to do the transfer on there. You have to pay for that transfer.
Doesn't cost them anything. They are charging you for their time, not the government making them do it. The government
the government is making them do it. No, the government is making you do
this is
it
not the
through them.
Property. That is not how that works. They didn't used to charge for that, by the way. Back in the 80s, they wouldn't charge you to transfer.
You're demanding people do work for free. Yeah, you're demanding people do work for free.
No, I'm not. They used to do it
for
free
because
they chose
you're
to.
Expecting
now
people to go.
Now you are upset that they are no longer.
No, I'm having to talk
the government didn't require
you because you won't
to do it free.
You're not giving me the common courtesy of finishing my point before you come through.
Motherfucker, you've interrupted my point every time I've started. You don't get any courtesy when you've interrupted me every time I start talking.
I gave you the common courtesy of shutting the fuck up when you were talking, and you kept talking.
You interrupt me at every point. You don't get to sit here and then say, "Oh, you're interrupting me." Try again. Doesn't work that way. And you're not going to rile me because I'm not upset. This is just me knowing that I understand this argument better than you. Sorry.
You done?
That's just the truth of it. No, I'm going to fucking flat out tell you. That is the gun store owner now choosing not to do it for free. The government didn't expect them to do it for free. They chose to do it for free when this regulation was put in place. They did it for free for a very long time until the NRA pushed against it. Then they started charging for it because if it was done for free, it was not a good talking point. Again, I will point you to the convention in 1992 of the NRA in Seattle, because this is where that came from too, which is when they started charging for it was in the early 90s. Why? Because that made it a better talking point to use in political stump speeches. Again, we can track this through the think tanks that openly brag about fucking creating these things. So yeah, registration doesn't equal them coming for your guns. Switzerland, guess what? More per capita gun ownership than us. They don't have more guns than we do, but more per capita. Why? They also have better gun regulations, more registration. They require you to own a safe. They require you to do all
realize
kinds
that
of
they don't
things.
have as many guns that were manufactured in Switzerland per capita as the United States?
That's because they don't manufacture guns.
That's not what I'm saying. The extant amount of guns that are in the United States is vastly more than in Switzerland. So
the percentage of people, the percentage of the population of Switzerland who own guns and have gun safes and have guns in their home is actually higher.
Do you really want to make that comparison to the 600 million that we have here in the United States? Okay, you're
talking about a difference of scale.
It's not a difference.
Yes, you are, because I'm talking about the percentage of the population. You're talking about the number of guns that I literally prefaced my point.
Are you going to acknowledge that?
Oh my God!
Incongruity there.
See,
so if you're going to claim,
I'm going to flat out tell you, you're making a different comparison.
I'm not making
the comparison.
You're making.
Yes, you are. Shut the fuck up and let me finish, or I will fucking shut the fuck up over you. I will. I'll just fucking sit here and screech over you. You will not get a point in, because the simple fact is, what you are comparing is the scale. Now, if you were to scale up the size of the population of Switzerland and keep their population percentage ownership, they would be at the equivalent gun ownership of us. The difference is their country is small. They don't manufacture as many guns in Switzerland, so they import a lot of those guns. So you talking about how many are manufactured? Wait, just let me finish.
We're talking
so
about
you bring it.
exist in the world,
oh my God, shut the fuck up and let me finish so you can actually understand where you're missing the fucking point.
Okay, at the end of the day, They don't have.
No, okay. So you're just going to be in ignorant shit. Gotcha.
In Switzerland. So how are you going to regulate that? In what magic world can you ex machina argue that you can magically have all of the gun owners in the United States?
You don't make it retroactive. You make it from the point of the passing of the law. After that point, every gun sale is registered.
We're not.
Yeah, now you're breaking up, so now you can't even make your fucking point without fucking it being interruption from the internet. So even your internet thinks you're an idiot.
Right.
Good argument. Yeah. Now, as I was saying, the real issue is when you sit there and talk about how many guns are manufactured in the U.S. and the overall 600 million guns doesn't actually equate out to. It would be hard to regulate this when you say it is from every new purchase here forward. Not we have to go and register every gun that exists in the country now. Meaning those would be grandfathered in, so that only if they are sold after that fact would they have to go through this background check and registry. Okay, yes, this is not adding a shit ton of oversight. So, oh my God, Jesus Christ, you are incapable of fucking. Oh my God, you are incapable of fucking shutting up and letting a point be finished.
Okay, well, all these guns.
You can't finish the goddamn point to understand it before reacting
Jesus
to
fucking
it. So
Christ,
therefore,
dude, you're not
proving you're an
capable of
idiot.
fucking admitting that these guns exist.
No, I am
maybe if you were like
capable of admitting everything that I am talking about. The problem is you're too stupid to understand what you're saying,
man.
or what I'm saying. You're not Einstein, but you haven't let me finish the fucking
anything that's existing.
Scanner.
You're like
Scanner, shut the fuck up and let the point be finished so you can understand the point before you can argue against it. When
I totally understand your point.
You don't, because you haven't let it be finished. Again, as I am talking about you interrupting, you interrupt again. Motherfucker, if you can't control your reaction, mute yourself. And then fucking you can just scream into the void.
I can mute my cock in your mouth. That's what I can fucking do right now, Baldy.
No, you can shut the fuck up, cocksucker.